Hey guys, John here, and I just want to talk to you today about some of the warning signs that you should be looking out for to see if you have a problem with your brand positioning. Now, I've been having a lot of conversations with interior designers, independent interior designers, independent architects about these very specific signs. So if you recognize them, listen to them. That means you have a positioning problem. I'm going to rephrase that. That means you have a clarity problem. And it's not clear on the problems that you solve and the people that you solve them for. And so we have to work to fix that, whether it be in our messaging, on our website copy, and that sort of thing. And really, that's what positioning is all about. So today, what I have for you are the 5 silent killers of your great business. And really, like I said, it's some of the warning signs that you need to look out for. And then, I'll take you through and how to fix some of these things. So the first one that I want to talk to you about is, what your worth is. You know your worth deep down, but you can't quite get the market to understand that worth, or even to pay that worth as you're putting out proposals and that sort of thing. They just don't recognize it. And it's because, we're probably not clear on the problems that we're solving and for whom. And so we can fix that, but we really need to understand, couple of things, really. Our competition, the other players within the market, the holes that they're leaving in the market, the gaps that they're leaving, and then we need to understand what our specific strengths are and how we can fill those gaps. Okay, so that's going to help us combat some of this. You're not necessarily getting recognized for your expertise, but if we can do that, if we can specialize, if we can niche down, all of those things within our positioning, we're going to solve that problem really before it becomes a problem. The second thing that I want to talk to you about today is, maybe your marketing isn't working the way that you should, or you had some expectations, or you're looking at some benchmarks and you're just not meeting those benchmarks. And there's a clarity issue there. And it's because we're not demonstrating our expertise to the right people at the right time in a way that they need to hear it. So our messaging is off. We're not clear on the right messages that are going to speak to our best clients. And so what we do in brand positioning is we create this thing called the ideal client profile, your ICP. In the ICP, we're really looking to identify what are the wants, needs, and aspirations of this particular group of people. And more importantly, what are their fears, pains, and frustrations? What are they facing right now? What is that pain right now that's getting them to even look for either an architect or an interior designer or someone to solve their problems? And if we can study that, internalize it, and then present it back to them in a way that is if we can articulate it better than they can, if we can articulate the pain better than they can, they are going to trust that we know what we're talking about. And it's really going to help us combat, not only give us better marketing, and we're going to see our conversions and our marketing go up. We're going to get more qualified leads coming in the door. But we're also going to be recognized for our expertise because we're starting to say the right things to the right people. Now, the next thing to look out for is, maybe you are getting some leads, your marketing is generating some leads, but they're unqualified. They're not the right people. They're not your buyers. That means that we have a disconnect from, who our best customers are, the people that we want to replicate, and those that we're attracting into our world. So we really have to study, what are those things that are we're putting out into the ether, into the marketing. Whether it be social media posts, or if you have a funnel set up, or if you're running a paid ads campaign, what's the disconnect in our messaging? Why are we attracting the wrong people. This is a big warning sign that we are not correctly positioned in the market because we're very literally talking to the wrong people, right? And they're coming into our world. And that could be really frustrating because it takes a lot of time. You're having a lot of conversations, it's wasted, and it's usually people that can't afford our services or maybe just aren't right for, the type of work that we want to be doing. The fourth thing that I want to mention here, and it's a pretty important one. It's you're underselling your value and settling for rates far below what you know that your worth is. Now, that's usually because it comes from like a point of desperation, right? Like we need a quick win, so we're going to lower our rates to get that win in, or, we haven't had a sale in a while and we really want to work with, some people to to drive some revenue, whatever that may be. But what we're doing is we're lowering our rates. And if we're lowering our rates to get jobs in the door, we're effectively competing on price. And we all know that competing on price is a race to the bottom. But what that means is we're not effectively communicating our value out into the marketplace. They don't see the importance. They don't see us as the one person that's going to be able to solve for the pain that they're experiencing right now and get them to where they want to be. Like, what are the aspirations of our ideal client? And if we can show them how we're going to get them there, and along the way, like where specifically along that process, we're going to solve that pain or alleviate that pain, and then get them to the dream, their desired outcome, then we're probably underselling ourselves, right? So like we're not able to clearly articulate how we're going to do these things, which translates into lower prices, which translates into a race to the bottom. And it really is one of those big silent killers of our businesses, of great businesses. Oh, big typo in here. Sorry about that. But the next one is burnout from trying to do more instead of saying it better and charging appropriately. So, look, it's tiring. It's tiring to keep bringing on lower paying projects, but just do more and more and more of them. And it just becomes a grind day and day. And like sooner or later, like we wake up and we're thinking this isn't worth it anymore. Like maybe I should just go get a job somewhere, or this doesn't seem, I'm just scraping by. The margins aren't there. I should be making more money. That is another sign that we are disconnected in the market. We're blending in with the competition versus being known for something, versus being recognized for our expertise. And so what do we do about it? Well, we really have to think about, really the three key areas in our business that I talk about all the time. Number one, who is the competition? What are they doing well? What could they be improving on? What gaps are they leaving in the marketplace? Number two, what are our strengths? What are the opportunities that exist because of those strengths and the gaps that exist in the marketplace? Once we have that figured out, then it's who is the ideal client profile to buy into our strengths that fills the gaps in the marketplace. Now, if we can create that line of thinking, if we can create that through line there, and we have an understanding of the marketplace and where we fit and how we can best serve our customers, we are going to have wildly successful businesses because we're going to be appealing to the right people. We're going to be attracting the right leads into our world. Our customer acquisition costs are going to go down because we know who we're going after and we're serving up the right information. The longevity of those customers are going to go up, so lifetime values go up. Cost to acquire goes down, lifetime values go up if we're well positioned in the marketplace. And, frankly, this is how we replicate our best customers. This is how we create wildly successful businesses that are going to be around for a very long time. We have to build that platform. We have to build the foundation in order for growth to happen. And that only happens with a well positioned